You guys have one of the more interesting on-screen dynamics I've seen in a while. I'm fascinated by the sibling dynamic anyway, but this is really interesting because you didn't grow up together, and for a good portion of the film, you don't know the nature of the relationship.
Yes.
So you can talk a little bit about the relationship between Sam and Frankie, and then how you worked with Alex Kurtzman to kind of craft what is in some places a delicate balance.
Yeah. Well, I think, it was really important that our characters feel connected from the get-go, and I think we
just
do.
crossed our legs at the same time.
I do.
Kismet!
And it's also important to remember at the top of the movie, our father dies.
Right.
And so we're both mourning a loss. And I think that's one of the first ways that we connect is through that. And through a bunch of lies that he tells me. But we do find a really deep connection. And we sort of ride that, I feel like, for most of the movie. And Alex was really... he did not know that he had a sister until he was 30 years old. And so that jumping off point was the seed for this movie. And talking to him and his sister about their now relationship, and they have a great relationship now in their adult life, why they wanted it, why it was important to form that bond later in life. We all need people. We can't do this on our own, and we're pack animals, and we're not meant to be alone. And these people are very much kind of in danger of being alone, and it's through finding each other.
Yeah, and what Alex talks about all the time in the relationship is that when he met his sister, what he thought about was the lost time, all this time that was lost. And I think the fun that Frankie and Sam have together, they laugh a lot. I think the whole time, Sam, in the back of Sam's mind, is like, if I had only had Frankie around, maybe I wouldn't have been as miserable. If I had only had Frankie around, maybe I could have shared what it was like to live with such a jerk, And I think that that's the part of the sadness and the heartbreak of it, is that, and there's this beautiful scene that Liz does just beautifully in this laundromat, and she's explaining what it was like to live with this guy who was around and not around, and in her life and out of her life. And as she's telling the story of abandonment, basically, what Sam is reliving all of his own heartbreak with his father too, and it's that commonality of pain and that lost time and the what ifs that I think pretty much paint their relationship.
One of the things that really stands out for me too is there's a real naturalistic tone in the relationships, their ups and their downs, and then also in the dialogue. So I was wondering in the rehearsal process, because so much is unsaid, which is really true of life. Did you guys ever just let go and say everything that your characters were thinking and feeling to kind of fill in that space? And then did you bring any improv onto set with you?
There was some decent improv. I mean, it's always scary when you work with a writer-director that the writer in him is going to be very, is going to hold on to the words. I know how hard it is to write a script, and they work very hard to craft those words. But it's always, this process requires a big collaboration. And Alex was really collaborative and amazing, and sort of let us find the words in our own, what you say, natural way. So we had a beautiful script. We did do some improv. For me, I did do especially in the end, just to sort of get there. I mean, it's this very emotional movie, and it goes to some pretty dark places, and I need words. I'm a very verbal person, so I need words to sort of help me find what I need for what you ultimately see on camera.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. We're really looking forward to seeing this on AMC screen.
Cool. Thanks so much.
Thanks.